flirt,
Uh-huh.
try to partner, try to marry, right? So
Sure.
whenever you're talking to someone, don't look at them as a buyer. Look at them as a long-term prospect for you so that you nurture your relationship, you build that trust, and then you have a bigger vision and work with them together with them. Your investment is in dollars, which can be huge, but your gain will also be in dollars, right?
Hi viewers, good morning. So today we have with us Mr. Naveen Pathak from the United States, and I welcome you all to the new episode of Live Sattviko Talks, taking Indian brands global. So Mr. Naveen Pathak is the co-founder and COO of Entry India, which helps Indian companies to connect with US companies seamlessly and do business and trade. He was earlier employed with some premier companies like Department of Homeland Security, Stanford Telecom, and a few more before launching his venture Entry India. He holds a master's in engineering management from George Washington University and a bachelor's in electrical engineering from John Mason University, Virginia. So, Naveenji, I have read about your business mantra, which is people listen if they like you, but do business only when they trust you, which I found phenomenal. And I mean, just wanted to have your advice for the Indian brands who wish to now do business with the global customers. So, what is your take on that?
Don't try to sell. Don't try to flirt.
Haha,
Try to partner, try to marry, right? So
sure.
whenever you're talking to someone, don't look at them as a buyer. Look at them as a long-term prospect for you so that you nurture your relationship, you build that trust, and then you have a bigger vision and work with them together with them.
Awesome, awesome. That was a pretty straightforward answer, and I really liked it. Thank you so much. So, I mean, since you're an entrepreneur yourself and you're driving the culture of entrepreneurship at Entry India as well, so during your journey of entrepreneurship with Entry India, I mean, what learnings would you like to share with the Indian entrepreneurs who wish to scale their brands globally?
See, have a mindset. Not necessarily entrepreneurship is about mindset, right? It's about how you think. So a person may be selling tea at a corner of a street, and then you have someone like Chayos. They're also tea sellers in one way. So what differentiates? The both are entrepreneurs. Actually, not correct, not rightly. Yes, you can say the both are taking some risk. So, but it is about the mindset. How do you perceive your business? What do you think of your business? Not tomorrow, but you say, okay, let's say 1 year from today, 2 years from today, or 3 years from today. That's what you make the business case for, right?
Right.
So both can be startups, but both are not entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs is the ability to think in the right direction. Yes, you need mentors, yet you need guidance, and some lucky to have those guidance. They make it big. And some are not so fortunate enough. So my take normally is to, um, how much planning that you try to bring as much design in your business than by chance in your business, right? Many things happen by chance.
Yeah.
Actually, more design thinking you bring into your business model, business perspective. Of course, it comes with experience. More experience you are, it helps you to build on these thoughts. But my suggestion is only think big and have always have a strategy, always have tactics, how to make sure that your strategy bring results to you at the same level. I mean, same time, I should say. Be grounded, understanding what the problems are, and you keep on solving those problems. Remember, you started with one problem, but then entrepreneurship, you will get problems after problems, which will be very different from your initial business case.
Right.
So patience becomes the key, perseverance, and you know the case, and then you build upon it.
Right. So I have this next question, which is specifically while entering the US market. So, I mean, what kind of opportunities and challenges do you see for the small and medium sized manufacturers while entering the US market?
It is expensive.
Hmm.
Uh, US is expensive, right? But after all, you will be making money in dollars,
Right.
not rupees, right? So if your investment is in dollars, which can be huge, but your gain will also be in dollars, right? So, I mean, depending from case to case, there are a lot of pharma companies where I am and in the US, in New Jersey, and they all took risk that they saw the picture, they were ready to invest. Of course, they may have deep pockets, but then having deep pockets does not necessarily mean that you will make it big. Look at Google Plus. It died out, and Google has every resource in the world that it can, right? So not necessarily everything will take, a big a win for you, but then well, these are the risks which you come with when you are in business. And US, I will say, is it's an open market. People listen. Resources are enormous. You go to every city as a chamber of commerce, you call them, you get your work done in 30 minutes, you have your company registered. In 30 minutes, you have your bank account in 30 minutes. I mean, this is so fast. I mean, of course, but the
Right.
cost of business is high. So you come up with a plan, long term, again, no flirting. Flirting will lose money. But if you have a bigger plan, then you take that bigger plan on step by step basis.
So, Naveenji, when you say this, it is expensive to enter the US market. I mean, if you can give a small example for the entrepreneurs as to, how, if you can, how is it expensive in terms of the launch? I mean, what kind of initial expenditures are required to launch a brand there?
Depends on product to product, depends on service to service, right? So, well, of course, human resources are very expensive. There's a brand that I'm working with, for example, and they are launching their home furnishing products here. Now they want to have a local support who can help them close those deals. Now, local support with 2 years of business development experience is charging them $80,000. Now, $80,000 is a humongous, humongous lot of money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, but that doesn't mean the end of the road. What do you say is let's have someone or create a model in which someone can represent you for, let's say, a smaller amount of money, and with only a few hours in a week, and then you pay them some small stipend that you say, plus give them profit or revenue margin. Now, what example is, you can have someone local representation for $1,000 a month,
Right.
working 5 6 hours in a week. That means 20 hours in a month, and you pay them $1,000 a month with, let's say, uh, depends what some revenue percentage or some profit margins to that, right?
Right. Right.
You structure those deals, you make those deals, right? So you have to have those models, and well, something will happen, something will click. Of course, how do you find those people? I will not say that you just go online and look for those. You
Correct.
have some connections, you talk to a few people, and then you find them. And that's how you break into those big expenses and make them smaller chunks. Other way to look at it is also take help of accelerators, for example. I'm working with, let's say, about to be working with Rhode Island Hub. So we are
Right.
looking in finding those startups who are ready to expand, but at the same time, they have some resources to their disposal, which are necessary for them to stand tall, in business, in challenges like, let's say, COVID. So the challenges do come, expenses are there, but then you look for the possible solutions that can exist.
Right, right. Got it. So, I mean, you have built Entry India from scratch. So, if you can tell our viewers as to how Entry India can help Indian brands start and scale their operations in the US.
Well, see, there are two different parts to it. One part is basic setup. One part is that is the foundation. The other part is the generation of business, right? Everybody is looking for buyers. Everyone is selling. Whether you're selling a product, service, you're selling yourself.
Right.
So everyone is in the business of selling. From the standpoint of business setup, it's like how Enter India works is, or the challenge that we saw that was not existent before COVID is companies started to reach out to us and they said, you know what, we want to come to US. What can we do? And the question was, what do you want to be done for you? What are you looking for buyers? Looking for buyers is a very different proposition, but you need to have a solid foundation when you begin looking for buyers because a lot of Americans were canceling their orders on e-commerce, right? They did not want any order coming from outside of the US territory.
Right.
So from China, nothing from India. And then the companies like Target and the Bed Bath and Beyond kind of they were not ready to give orders out that will take 45 days for the fulfillment from India. So we saw that shift that how do they want that Indian companies who were their vendors from India to have their open their warehouses. So now we looked at those needs so that you need a warehouse. So now you want to sell in the US market, of course, so you want your own branding. And for that, now that led to them to having a bank account. But for a commercial bank account, you need to have a company. And now, when this all these things put together as a business setup, we brought in the support structure of how someone from US can support you in closing your deals here in the US, right?
Okay.
This is
Okay.
how we looked into the opportunity. That was the other way around of helping US companies to expand to India. Now help also support from India to help them enter the US market. So we do that from another subsidiary of ours, Entry USA.
Acha.
So
Okay.
we work with them, and then or we set them up, and we come in as partners to them. So we support them. So when you come as a partner in, we form a company in one day, your bank account and warehousing and shipping and logistics, everything taken care for you in a single day.
Wow.
You and
So
you.
in a way, you are, let's say, also helping. I mean, brands to start from scratch. I mean, as simple as having a bank account there, right?
As simple as having a company formation bank account. I mean,
Yeah.
see, that's one part, right? So you need to have a warehouse, you need to have local support and give
Right.
you some guidance as to when somebody says, I want to open up a company, can I come there on visa tomorrow? No. So we give them a long-term prospect of how they can come through L1A visa, for example, right? So
True.
find it together. It's not a service that we offer, it's a solution that we bring to the table.
Interesting. Interesting. Great. So, I mean, we have observed in the COVID times that the logistics cost has increased tremendously in last 1.5 years or so. So, how do you see it as a challenge to the trade, and how soon do you foresee that it comes to kind of a normal situation?
Well, yes, of course, containers has become big challenge. We have a lot of companies from India, our clients who are not able to, set their consignment on board as yet, even though they are ready with it. The information that I have from inside is that it's going to loosen up from September onwards. And within the next 6, 7, 8 months, we'll have a good availability of the containers so that the shipping logistics loosen up a bit. Of course, it has become very price sensitive from $5,000 to a container to a $20,000 container. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
So it's super expensive, but it will come down eventually. And then, inflation has also been very challenging. The labor market here in the US, everyone is employed, it seems, but then no one is looking for a job. I guess I don't know what's happening, but you don't find labor anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So companies are getting into a very hard time in finding people for them, whether in the warehouses, in shipping, in the trucking industry, they are not finding people. But it will
Right.
loosen eventually in next few months, and then we will see things start to move up. Um, everyone.
This is kind of a personal question. I mean, since you are also into fitness and all, and being an entrepreneur, you also lead kind of a stressful life in terms of your targets and scaling your business. So, how important is, let's say, yoga and fitness for an entrepreneur who is now entering into entrepreneurship and, of course, further scaling?
Well, it's the most important part to it. Uh, Complexity exists in the mind. See complexity and you shall find it. So if you're looking for, you will find it. But it is how about how you tackle it. Now, one thing is that if you don't spend time on yourself, then you are going to overwhelm yourself, or
Yeah.
and then it will take a toll on your health, on your mental health, or your physical health. So exercising and yoga, of course, I mean, is number one priority. So health should always come first. There is no doubt about it, because you are healthy, your business will be healthy. You want to think straight, you want to think right. And spending time, you can call it as spending time with your own self. It is your investment on yourself, right?
Absolutely.
So number one priority.
Got it. Got it. So, coming down to my last question for the session, what we have observed is because of since the COVID has hit and we are looking at, let's say, some health food brands now. So, how do you see the increase in the scope of health food brands going forward?
Big time, exponential rise. In the last 27 years ever being I am here, I've seen people starting from vegan, which I didn't understand at that time, to a level that there is no cheese on pizza. I mean, a lot of people prefer no cheese, right? And you go to stores like Whole Foods, and then there are sections which they heavily talk about that, how they are healthy for you.
Yeah.
And then in my network itself, I'm finding people who don't want to eat sugary stuff, corn syrup, and fatty stuff, and they're building or cutting down heavily on products with high in salt, right? So people are heavily tilted towards health, good health,
Right.
and diet. Not so much to say that I'm taking control. I mean, they're taking control on what goes in them.
Right. Right.
So, the intake, right? So maybe they're eating 5 times in a day to 6 times in a day, smaller portions. But the whole idea is towards having a healthy meal, and
Right.
eating down on snacks, for example. So then cutting down on bringing chips. I mean, myself, we don't bring the chips in the house.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
we have cut down probably 90%, if not 100%. Uh, that's very important, and I can foresee that the healthy foods, healthy snacks industry is going to be on rise, and Sattviko as a product in food yoga has a very high possibility of creating a larger success.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Naveenji, I mean, I pretty much like the kind of responses which you gave, and I'm sure these will be really helpful for our viewers as well. So, thank you so much for your time once again, and really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Double. And my best wishes to Sattviko and your team at Sattviko to do well for yourself and bring out this made in India products in the US market. And I look forward to having more long-term relationship with you, with Sattviko, and see you grow.
Awesome. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.